For my breakfast this morning, I've got 0% fat Greek yogurt with defrosted blueberries and strawberries and a coffee using some of my healthy extra A milk. And oops, I forgot to say that I've got 1 sin of chocolate over the top. So fresh from the dentist, I didn't really fancy having a big dinner, so I had basically what I had for my breakfast. So I've got 0% fat Greek yogurt with easy peelers for speed, a banana that's free, and half a sin of splendid syrup, and it was the toffee caramel flavour for my dinner. For tea tonight, I am making Jamie Oliver's sausage and mash pie, so we'll see what that turns out like. So for this lovely sausage and mash pie, we're going to need 1.2 kilos of potatoes that I'm going to peel now, 600 mils of semi-skim milk, 2 leeks, pork caramelised onion sausages, or pork and caramelised onion sausages. It's English mustard, but I like to use the powder because it's free on Slimming World, 2 apples that actually need to be used up, and 4 tablespoons of plain flour, and it says a bunch or half a bunch of thyme, but I've only got dried, so I've just put just a heaped tablespoon in there. Okay, so we've peeled and chopped the potatoes, put them in some salted water for about 15 minutes. The sausages are just browning here. So we've chopped the leeks into 1 centimetre pieces, and we've also chopped and cored and peeled the apples. They're also meant to be 1 centimetre pieces, but we're not going to worry about that my maths is not that great because they're meant to be 1 centimetre each. I've also tipped the thyme everywhere, and these are just the perils of cooking when I'm trying to record. So the apples and the leek and the thyme have been added to a pan. There's a splash of water gone in as well, and I've seasoned it with salt and black pepper. Now we're going to cover and cook for 20 minutes, but I haven't got a lid for this pan, so I'm going to use a saucepan. So I've put some flour, and then I've just got the rest of the first half of it, and that goes in with the potatoes to mash. And then here I've got the rest of the flour and the mustard powder, and then we're going to mix that in with the leeks and the apples. And then we're just going to gradually add the milk. Then I've changed the size of it, so the kids are going to have cheese and potato pie. This is what I've done for me and Jeff. It's a smaller version. So you're just going to line the pan with the mashed potato. So I had to line a baking sheet with the rest of the mash and then flip it over, which is a little bit tricky. So this is the finished result, and I will tell you my verdict. So I'm not sure it's meant to be as saucy as this, but it is, and it was really tasty. For my snacks tonight, I've got my Healthy Extra B, which is a mint and an orange skinny crunch. I've got an easy peeler for speed and a coffee using some of my Healthy Extra A milk. So for that recipe, the Jamie Oliver sausage and mash pie, it was really nice. I'm not sure whether it's something I'd have all the time, just occasionally would be okay with me, because it took absolutely ages to cook, even though I've chopped it into little, obviously, small segments. But it was really tasty, and I did work out the sins. So for the sausages that I used, they were the Tesco's Finest pork and caramelised onions. They're 5 sins each, so they are quite high, but that's fine because there was only 3 in the portion that me and Jeff and I shared. And the other thing I didn't sin was the apples. So that would be 3 sins because it's per 100 grams is 1.5 sins. So that's an extra 3 sins on top. And the flour, of course, which there was 4 tablespoons, so that is 2 sins each for each tablespoon, so that's 8 sins. So I worked it out at 23, but now it's going to be 26. Divided by 4 is what? 6. Oh, hang on, yeah, 6. Yes, there we are. That was quick and easy for me, painless maths. So 6 sins per portion because it was for 4 of us. I ended up not giving it to the children because as I was cooking, I was thinking they're not going to like this leek and apple and mustard, and so they ended up having just cheese and potato pie and some sausages as well. So it was a lovely meal, I've got to be fair, really enjoyed it. And there's some left over now because the sauce that I didn't use will be for Jeff when I'm in work tomorrow probably. So I'm ending today on, what have I had? I've had that, 6 sins, and I haven't had anything else. I've had half a sin and 1 sin, 6, 7, 7.5. So I'm ending today on 7.5 sins just for my yogurts this morning. That's absolutely fine. It was a little bit swollen earlier and a little bit painful because I think that's just because you sat there with your mouth open for the length of time that you are, and I did have to ask him to stop at one point because it was really hurting my jaw. But there we are. all done. Jeff has had a tooth out today as well. We didn't even plan to go to the dentist together because we could only get emergency appointments. We ended up going on the same day. So he's been in a lot more pain than I have this afternoon. So as you can see, I've got my painting top on again. I did have a little paint at Tasha's bedroom earlier. So that's nearly finished now. And yes, I am ending today on 7.5 sins. I'm going to go and finish my coffee and have a nice relaxed evening. I was going to wrap some presents and watch some films today, but again, that hasn't happened. I think it'll have to be a weekend job now, probably. So we'll see. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.